we are going to taste the second flight of set of the takeaway wines. Before tasting, you will see that these two wines, the white wines, those are only two which are really comparative tasting because we talk about the same type of wine, both are Chardonnay. And then we will be to the last four being different red varietals, which will not be comparative. But perhaps just a few words about the first two, the Chardonnay. And I think the question can be asked, why do you blend wines? And what does it mean to say you blend wines? Now blend is only a very smart word to say you mix it. Because what you're doing, you put different wines together. And why do you want to do it? Because you would most probably like to comply with certain specifications. Say for instance, if you want a Swedish wine and you blend a dry one with some Swedish wines. Or if you want to combine different specific characteristics of a wine. If you take those two whites, for instance, the first being Chenin Chardonnay, so the second one, why would you blend Chenin Chardonnay? Chenin usually doesn't have a body as a Chardonnay, while Chardonnay usually don't have the flavor as a Chenin. We've seen it previously that the Chardonnay tend to have some new flavors. So if you combine those two, then you can really combine a lot of flavor of fruit with the smoothness of the palate of Chardonnay. So that's the main reason why people would put wines together or blend wines, obviously. You can also blend the same varietals. Let's take, for instance, Cabernet. If you have, for instance, a very high alcohol Cabernet, then it may be very sharp on the nose and the palate. And if you blend it with one of the lower alcohol, then obviously you'll eventually get a better wine. So the primary aim is to get better wines. In other words, to complement the positive characteristics of the different components when you blend. Now those two that we're going to taste now, you will see there are different class categories. In other words, quality wines. I'm not going to say anything more than that, but there's a difference in quality. One wouldn't expect a Chenin Chardonnay to be an icon wine. That's not the idea of that type of wine. So concentrate on the flavor or the fruit of those wines and on the palate. Especially on the palate, I think you'll see the difference between those two wines. But go ahead and then we can talk about it. Now, I think you've seen the notes that when you refer to a blend like this, Chenin Chardonnay, the sequence of naming the blend is usually in the same sequence as the percentage of the variety. So it says that the majority in this case is a Chenin. And you're only allowed to mention a variety if it's more than 10%. So the Chardonnay must be at least 10%. You don't need to say what the percentage is, but it must be at least 10. The majority will be Chenin, obviously. Okay, these wines, if wines like these are submitted for assessment purposes, the varietals will obviously not be mentioned. So it will be only submitted as a dry white, not even with the vintage, if not necessary. So you wouldn't know that you are tasting Chenin or Chardonnay. It's only for the sake of interest. It's only a dry white. And that's why if you taste these wines, you really don't need to identify any varietal character, because that's the aim of this tasting. So my comments on those two wines. The first one, light yellow green color. It's fruity, non-muscat wine, but it's quite an average wine. I scored it 13 out of 20. There's nothing wrong with it. If it was submitted as a varietal, it would even suffer to pass, because in this case you don't expect it, so it's not a problem at all. Then the second one, which is the lower quality one, obviously, and the reason why I say that, if you look at the color, there's already a slight yellowish on the color. It's not only green. It's rather watery, because on the aftertaste, after you've tasted it, it's gone. Very, very short aftertaste. And there's also, I would say, a slight indication of over-maturation, especially the palate. Not oxidation yet, but slightly over-matured. So bearing in mind that I see this as the inferior one of the two, I gave it 12 out of 20. It will definitely not be approved as any varietal, because there's no both wines are very, I would say, average like mediocre wines, with number one being just a little bit ahead of the second one. Any questions or comments? You can see obviously that, I mean, you won't, usually I think you tend to score too high, I would guess. Because if you don't have very prominent varietal character or prominent nose, prominent palate, then your wine can't score more than 12 or 13. Then it's sort of basic quality. We're really looking for something more special than that to go to 14, 15, 16. Bear in mind that the 15, for instance, is a bronze medal. Now, to get a bronze medal at the competition is not so easy. So, if you score a wine 15 in your mind, you will see that as a bronze medal. So, bear that in mind. I think you tend to score too high as well. Any other questions about that?
Sure. Number two, I've got to serve an oily taste. Is that the urban maturation?
Yes, it's. There's a slight coarseness. Yeah, it's not acidity, but it's coarseness. And I think you're right, that is what I refer to as over-maturation, or slightly oxidative in other words. That's why you can see in the color as well. There's a hint of yellow on the color already. But not to such an extent I will reject it as being oxidative.